boy, do I have some great news for my 3.5 subscribers. It's a new episode, baby.
The new episode, baby.
Are you out of your corn-fed mind?
I am Fernando Martinez. Conmigo.
Yeah, so. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yeah!
So the what?
And we're back. Coming at you live. No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. Hey, we got a lot to get to, so I'm not going to bullshit. And of course, we're going to discuss Logan Paul, the troll being trolled by another troll. Troll being trolled by trolls. Being trolled by trolls. Shockingly, we've got the Pope up to some strange shenanigans. There's a first.
Alrighty then.
Amazon giving away free packages. They didn't even know it, but they were. We're going to talk about how being a good Samaritan can get your ass whooped.
You spanked that ass, Les.
The stale Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, good observation, buddy.
And some sad news about my mentor, Mr. Champ Kind. Coming at you next on YSP. All of that shit and just a little bit more. All of that shit and just a little... Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is this Logan Paul Pokemon non-scandal. Yeah, one thing you got to realize about Logan Paul is both the Paul brothers. How come I never know which fucking name? Half the time I'm saying both the Logan brothers, and half the time I'm saying the Jake brothers, which sound like WWE tag team champions. But for sure, Logan Paul claims to have spent $3.5 million on Pokemon cards. Everybody's saying that it was a fake reaction, that he should have known, and they're all right. I mean, of course it's fake. Guy is undoubtedly probably one of the best internet trolls of all time. Jake Paul is Logan Paul. See, I just did it again. Logan Jakey. See, I just did it again. Logan Jakey is undoubtedly one of the best internet trolls, or most efficient internet trolls. I mean, he's MTV's Punk'd on steroids, and you better bet your sweet ass that if he spent $3.5 million on Pokemon cards, in this case, they weren't even counterfeit, there was other cards that were inside the package, this guy would do a fucking United States Department of Defense background check on the motherfucker that sold him these cards, and he'd be in front of his mother's house with a boom mic and a camera crew, asking this guy if he took the fake cards from his mom's vagina before he came out, or he'd have a helicopter fly over the guy's house and drop a bunch of fake cards on it, or some crazy shit like that. He wouldn't just eat it and move on. So kudos to you, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Pokemon Paul. Logan, great job. You got the hits. I hope you got the hits that you were aiming for. You deserve them.
That's built just like baloney for some reason.
Next. Jakey Logan Pokemon. Jakey. Hey, how many out there didn't get their Amazon package last week? If you're in the Wild West like I am, there's a good chance it was due to the $10 million worth of Amazon packages that were rifled the fuck through in Southern California. If you see the pictures, which I will put up here, of course, for your entertainment, the amount of packages that were gone through is astounding. They went through those packages way faster than Amazon delivers them, which I'd be pissed if I didn't get my package, but I do respect their gangster.
What the fuck else is happening?
Hey, you ever felt like, you ever wake up in the morning and felt like, I want to commit all the crimes? Well, BMW to the rescue, because this week, BMW debuted their new color-changing SUV at CES. For those unaware, for those of you not familiar, CES is the convention of electronic shit, and they bring out all the new shit that comes out every year or is in prototype stage, and BMW released an SUV that, for lack of a better term, might be one of the ugliest SUVs I've ever seen in my life, but it's the same thing as being ugly and putting on that nice pair of shoes. Like, you've seen those ugly dudes with the Stacey Adams Gators in the club. That motherfucker's ugly, but god damn does he look sharp. You've seen women that, they got the kind of rack they could play at Wimbledon with, but you see their face and it's got ping pong written all over it. That's what BMW did here. But what BMW also did is change the scope of things. I mean, the future of car color customization, just so you guys know, it took me 4 takes to say that shit. I mean, the fact that you can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I feel like red today. I mean, what's not to say? There are so many thoughts going through my head that BMW at this point is an accomplice in my next court proceedings, and this is all premeditated. If I could get BMW to make me a jacket and pants like back in the 90s, like people would wear their jean jacket and the jean pants, like the Fat Farm suits and shit like that. If I could get BMW to make me a suit like that and have this car, I'd just commit all the crimes, just all of them. Like, that couldn't possibly be the same guy that just robbed the bank that's in here robbing this bank. No, because I heard the guy that robbed the other bank also robbed the bank before that, but he was in a white car. This guy's got a black car. Yeah, and all joking aside, this might be the most innovative feature that we've ever seen on a vehicle as far as electric vehicles being created and pushed in the market. There's nothing that can rival color changing. I don't care what size 350 board do or whatever, big block. I mean, that's all great and it all looks great and sounds great, but color changing vehicles. Does BMW make girlfriends? I'm just saying. No, there's no way in hell. BMW is German, and we all know it. I just thought of that. Germany, who consistently is pretty favorable to one color when it comes to humanity, are the first ones to come out with the color changing vehicle. For fuck's sake, isn't that some shit? The irony behind that, it's flabbergasting. Anyways, what the fuck else are we gonna talk about? And now this is a story all about how the premise got turned upside down.
Nailed it. I know. Thank you. Moving on.
I don't know how the fuck they're gonna try to make this shit work. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is getting a reboot, but it's going to be a dramatic version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and from the looks of it, it's dangerously close to Power and that other music one that was like Power, and a couple of the other knockoffs that are like Power, but dramatic, like a telenueva. And someone needs a telenueva idea is not... I mean, obviously that means Carlton's going to be a confirmed killer, which I think we all knew from the first one. I mean, Jeffrey, the butler, is absolutely, he's at the very least also, at the very least I'd say he's probably at least a confirmed shooter. And Uncle Phil was already gangster in the first one, so I can only imagine he's going to be like fucking Nino Brown in the second one. And the sister Hillary's just going to be a thought, reprising her role as the thought. And what was the little sister's name? Ashley. I don't know what she was in the first one, so I don't even know what she's gonna be in this one. I'm assuming Quiet. And who am I leaving out? If they fucking bring in DJ Khaled to play DJ Jazzy Jeff, I'm gonna shit my fucking pants. I'm gonna shit your pants too. And who am I leaving out? If they fucking bring in DJ Khaled to play DJ Jazzy Jeff, I'm gonna shit my fucking pants. I'm gonna shit your pants too. I'll tell you one thing. If they really wanted to address some serious drama, they would address the issue we discussed on the last episode of...
Yeah, so...
That would be the issue of Will Smith vomiting after ejaculation. But you'll have to check last week's episode for that. And that is in his book. So if you think I was clever enough to come up with that on my own, you can go fuck yourself.
I heard that. I wish I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
What else you got? The Pope was recently seen exiting a record store in Italy. Now, a couple things. One, just because you're Catholic doesn't mean you have to be against technology. What the fuck is anybody listening to a record for? It'd be one thing if you went into the popehood known as being this avid record collector. You have to take a vow of being broke or whatever that's called. And he didn't have no record collection going into his popehoodness.
Not up in here!
But now he's hitting the shops for the hard-to-find underground. Y'all want the B-side to the New Testament? The New Testament is the B-side to the Old Testament? Wait, that doesn't make sense. See what I did there? I was raised Catholic, but I'm not one of those Catholics. I figured it out at a young age. The thing that strikes me as odd is that one of the employees there said that the Pope was acting strangely. He asked if there were booths in the back, and the employee told him no, there weren't even any public restrooms available, so the Pope just paid for his copy of the latest Kids Bop and ran out.
Wait, what?
And I apologize if I haven't offended anyone yet. Let me say this. Today's Pope, yesterday's Pope, tomorrow's Pope, who knows, are all responsible for placing these pedophiles, literally moving them around the world like chess pieces, like shuffling them like... The Pope is like a bingo... What's a bingo like dealer called? Is there a name for a bingo dealer? The Pope is like a bingo ball caller, is what they call it, for pedophiles. And I didn't know that already. I through the magic of media, I paused it and looked that up for you lovely people, so I would be using the term correctly. But the person who operates equipment that randomly selects the numbers for bingo is called a bingo caller. So that would make the Pope the pedophilia bingo caller of Rome or the Vatican. The Vatican's own bingo caller, aka the Pope, coming down. Coming at you with all the pedophiles you can handle. Next, the Vatican's own, His Holiness, coming at you on the ones and twos, not coming on the ones and twos. If I was lesser of a man and more of an asshole, I would continue to describe what my assumption of what the pedophilia bingo card would be post-pedophile bingo game. But I won't. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. The new year has not been kind to my peer, my colleague, Champ Kind, aka David Keckner, who busted for DUI on New Year's Eve, so...
I don't know how to put this, but...
There was a story earlier this week that the Ukraine was attacked. Just kidding, I'm trying to predict the future. I was just thinking about how I could word it for when Russia does finally invade. But they say the Ukraine was hit with a massive cyber attack. Now, I don't know who the fuck figured out how to hack a Game Boy, but the Ukraine should have seen this coming, right? I mean, they can't have more than like a couple Game Boys linked together. Remember those cords you could hook one to the other if you wanted to play each other, but you couldn't see the fucking screen half the time anyway. You think that's the Ukraine just trying to get a good angle in the sun so they can see where Russia's coming from, and Russia's like, well, we got a fucking Game Gear, bitch, it's on. We got a PSP, you're still playing your Game Boy. Our shit's in color, ho. And they're like, oh, hold on a second, I know yours is rechargeable, but we have to go get 11 AA batteries to run our shit with no color. Please. I gotta work on a Ukrainian accent. No, I don't, because... See, that pause there was an artistic pause for your mind to naturally put whatever reason you believed I should not do a Ukrainian accent for, and I'm going to go with that reason. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, good observation, buddy.
A new service called WonderMe, for lack of a better term, it looks like a brainstorm with little bubbles with everyone's picture that you can move around and have little side conversations. It looks like fucking, like you're going to be like having a meeting in a virtual Yahtzee. What was that board game that had the bubble in the middle that you would click it and it popped it? Sorry? I think it was Sorry. And we're back! I looked it up. It is Sorry. That's what it's going to be like trying to use this WonderMe service. I mean, this shit's like, it's like now you can have a side conversation. When it's like, have you ever been in a car full of people that was just in an accident? I mean, me neither. Have you ever been pulled over with 3 of your friends in the car and been trying to get your story straight as the cop was walking up to your vehicle? You ever yell fire in a movie theater and then block the door and ask for everyone's email address on the way out? You ever try to put the condom on after you finished? Yeah, that's the kind of control that this software looks like it's gonna have. So can't wait to not use that ever.
But wait, there's more.
Another blow to the integrity of the motto of Burger King. Maybe it went without saying, but have it your way does not apply to robbery. The management team at Burger King may also be packing.
Wait, what?
As a gentleman found out this week when he attempted to rob a Burger King, who, guy's 40 years old, his daughter's in on it. I never had this kind of relationship with my dad. I got caught stealing one time at Santa's Secret Workshop in 2nd grade. Well, that was my first confirmed case. And he had no interest in creating a distraction or assisting me in any way. But anyway, this gentleman thought he would celebrate his daughter getting her first job by planning a robbery, and they brought her friend in on it as well. Well, what the daughter neglected to tell the dad that she had a straight up fucking gangster for a boss. So when the father of the year attempted this robbery, he was not prepared for the real gangster on the other side of the window, who took it upon himself to initiate the firefight. But there's a couple reasons why this all went wrong. One, if you're working at Burger King, you don't need to defend that shit with your life. There's better stuff out there. Chick-fil-A, Carl's Jr. I mean, you got places to go. Burger King is not the hill you die on. Second of all, if you're an employee at Burger King and think it's a good idea to bring a pistol to work, you should not, and I repeat, should not be firing it indoors, because what will happen is exactly what happened here. The other 10-year-old accomplice, or however old this poor little girl was that was involved, was shot by her own coworker. And as a testament about how gangster this Burger King employee was, he went on the run.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Yeah, you heard me. Not just the dad who initiated this shit. The dad took off on the lam, the Burger King employee took off on the lam, and the daughter rolled over on both of them. And that's a sentence you can only say in this scenario. Any other scenario would be absolutely disgusting. I guess this one's disgusting too, but you see where I'm going with that. If you don't know the story already, Drake put hot sauce in his condom after he used it, and the lovely young lady that he used the apparatus with, when in the bathroom, retrieved the condom from the trash can and promptly attempted to insert its contents into her young moneymaker. And this ain't over. If we're all wrong and she was actually referring to her vagina when she said trash can, we all owe her a big apology. You all do, I should say. I would never apologize to a trash can vagina. Food for thought. Food for thought. A couple inconsistencies here. One, she apparently retrieved it from the trash can where it was tied, closed, and I don't know about you guys, but even in my darkest day, even getting out of jail after a couple of months, my load was not so big to where I could not fit my used condom into the toilet approximately a foot and a half away from the trash can. I don't know if somebody needs to have a discussion with Drake about going green or what, and second of all, who keeps hot sauce in the bathroom, for Christ's sake? Now, if they told me that Drake was carrying a purse that had hot sauce in it, I'd probably believe that. But this lovely young lady is apparently attempting to sue Drake now because of this. My question is, would the brand of hot sauce made a difference? Like if we're talking about, level 8 in the Hot Ones take or the Hot Take show, then absolutely, this woman definitely had some reparations coming her way. But if we're talking about your standard run-of-the-mill Taco Bell packet or sriracha or some such shit, this broad's out of her mind. Well, that's as hot as that tape's gonna get. What's next? Anybody else see this video of the British Royal Marine with his Iron Man like suit flying from one boat to another, basically hovering with these things attached to his arms? I mean, look, video looks fucking photoshopped. Now that could be because they had to get rid of the umbrella and the dress he was wearing and make him look like a man, because obviously the only one British and flying is Mary Poppins. Oh, I almost did the fucking accent again, you bastards. Not gonna do it. Anyways, check it out. There is a video out there. Next. Roll Tide. Everybody's talking about this Alabama player Kool-Aid McKinstry, but listen, it's a respectable name. If you think about it, it technically, his name, it's noble, it's recognizable, it's legitimate, it carries weight, it has a long history. I don't know anything about this McKinstry bullshit, but Kool-Aid, I've known since day one. The only disappointing part is that this guy's not 400 pounds, so he's absolutely never gonna bust through the wall and say, "Oh yeah!" Next. You know what else happened this week? A gentleman saw someone sleeping on the sidewalk, decided to give them his jacket to protect them from the elements. Well, here's why I have a strict policy against giving away any of my clothing. This guy laid his jacket over the top of a homeless man who proceeded to stand up and beat the shit out of him.
Look like somebody beat the brakes off your motherfucking ass.
Not only that, took his wallet, pretty sure he held onto the jacket too. Twofer. But come to find out, I guess the homeless guy had a previous run-in earlier in the same week where he beat the shit out of a lady over something very similar. But hey, why not let a homeless guy who just beat a woman back out on the streets? What could go wrong there? The only part that I have no sympathy for is the guy who put his jacket over the homeless guy. When he was robbed, he had about $1,500 on him. Give him a 20. You know what I mean? Give him a 20. Oh, what if there was $100 stuffed in the jacket and the homeless guy didn't even know? You think that would have changed the outcome? Fuck no. He still would have beat the shit out of that guy, and he would have had it $1,600 then. Who knows? Math ain't my strong point. There was an announcement today that Lowe's is going to begin having full-scale Petco stores inside Lowe's. I'm not a woodworker, okay? I'm not a carpenter, but I'm handy, so I'm very familiar with Lowe's, Home Depot. I mean, I go all the way back to Yardbirds if anybody remembers them. But point being, we always thought of construction workers as being some of the dumbest in our society. You know, basically above an ex-con. I myself am an ex-con. But the guys behind Lowe's figured out a foolproof way to get rid of their wife when they need to go to Lowe's. I think is fucking genius. Or are they super fucked because that now they really don't have a way to get out of going to Lowe's without them? Huh. Well, you be the judge. I'd love to weigh in, but my marriage is not on the upside of that. So maybe they'll open a Fire Wings inside of a Centerfold strip club, and then I can relate to that. I'm lying. I don't even like the strip club. Maybe they'll open a Fire Wings inside a Home Depot. So all the single guys, we go to Home Depot. Lowe's is for you suckers. Lowe's is for the suckers. Sucker ass Lowe's. Home Depot, you know. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, fellas, but our next story is a sad one. Not all cheerleaders are pretty. I'm fucking Josh, and we all know that. But not only can some cheerleaders not be pretty on the outside, they can also not be pretty on the inside. The type of person that is a freshman and feels like they should be on the varsity team and feels the need to verbally attack no one really, because they obviously don't have the balls to physically attack anybody. And I'm not saying they should, probably. shouldn't. Any fucking who. She kicked off the team, and she took it all the way to the Supreme Court to get a verdict on something that happened 3 years ago for a squad that she absolutely is probably not qualified for anymore to begin with. And let's face it, she's not hideous or anything like that, but cheerleaders are supposed to be motivational. I assure you, this was not the worst or first or only thing she probably bitched about having to do her freshman year with her hands that she was unqualified for. One thing I do respect about the ugly cheerleaders is they're much more honest than the hot ones, because obviously there were rumors going around that this chick might have looked good from behind, and she felt the need to provide a picture proving that is not true. So kudos. And the fact that her parents would let her take it all the way to the Supreme Court, I mean, get the fuck out of here. Let me guess, mom didn't make the varsity cut either. Maybe dad did, but I'm assuming they have no idea where the fuck dad is. You know what, I hope they don't know where he is. I hope that dad made the cheerleading squad varsity his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year in high school right before he impregnated her mom and bounced the fuck out, as male cheerleaders are known to do.
So long, gay boys!
I also want to discuss a thing that Japan is doing. You know, they always got to surprise us with something. Started with Pearl Harbor, and now it's continuing with the do-nothing rent-a-man service they're offering, which is basically cock in a can. We're bro in a box. We're bro in a box. We're bro in a box. Guy in a gift. Guy in a gift. Guy in a gift. Guy in a gift. Prick wrapped in a brick. Anyways, you get where I'm going. Prick wrapped in a brick. What it is a service where women can rent a man who will not try to make any sort of sexual advance on them. Notice, ladies, that the only way to guarantee a man will not make a sexual advance is if you pay him, and even then, it's not guaranteed. Another story I shouldn't address, but I'm going to anyways. Disney had a press release announcing that Minnie Mouse is going to add a pantsuit to her wardrobe. That bitch hasn't been about business since she was in black and white, so why add in the britches? Bullshit. Mouse shit. Whatever. Are you telling me that's it? Motherfucking shit, bitch. Are you telling me that's it? Alright, on a final note here, you guys have disobeyed my direct order from the top to not subscribe. So I sat down with YouTube and we hashed a few things out, and I've decided to temporarily open subscribing up again, so you can go ahead and subscribe for now, but it ain't permanent, so don't get fucking cocky. I'll pull the plug on the whole thing. And if you want to say it to my face, or close enough, use the Clubhouse app. And this isn't an endorsement for Clubhouse, I don't get paid for this. It really is it's a fun app. You can interact with a lot of people. I've spoken with celebrities on there. I talked to Dr. Drew the other day on there. I'm not kidding, me, you know? 21 Savage, I was in a room with him the other day, and I knew it was him because he kept repeating 21. Like, man, how many people are in this room? A lot. And the comedian Monique was in the room the other day. There's some really fun roast rooms in there. There's a couple thin-skinned bitches in there. Without those that are bitches, those that are beasts would not flourish. You know? Find me on the Clubhouse app. That's at TheRev, TheeRev. Say that shit to my fucking face. Visit us on the web, on Twitter, Instagram, YSO Podcast, on YouTube, obviously. And I hit up the Patreon. The Patreon is YSO. If you want to make a fucking donation, you cheap bastard. That's a Patreon/YEAHSO. I do appreciate the support, and if you got just a little bit of a laugh today, that's all that matters to me, honestly. I enjoy making fun of shit, and I enjoy making people laugh. So if you got that out of it, then that's good enough for me. You don't have to make a donation for any of that shit to matter. But it helps. Alright, everybody, be easy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, or do. And be safe, or not.